The 20th century's most devastating legacy was not a lack of technology. The true disaster was the blind, destructive fanaticism of leaders driven purely by ideology. Leaders like Lenin and Mao acted with the total conviction that they held sole possession of history's trajectory. They promised a new order, but this ideological zeal ultimately opened the gates to hell. To survive the 21st century, strategist HoPin argues we must abandon these moral crusades. Avoiding a repeat of history requires a cold, massive transaction between superpowers. We usually measure a superpower by the strength of its alliances, but today, the heavyweights are lonely powers. Their traditional alliances have transformed from strategic assets into active liabilities. For the United States, organizations like NATO and the European Union restrict diplomatic flexibility. These networks drag Washington into regional disputes rather than projecting its strength. China is surrounded by neighbors with their own competing agendas, and Russia has almost no allies it can actually trust. A real global negotiation can only begin when the US, China, and Russia recognize they are all isolated by their own dysfunctional networks. American hegemony is often viewed through the lens of aircraft carriers and economic hardware. Its real power, however, lies in its ability to dictate the grammar of global competition. This language of order forces every competitor to play by the same set of rules. It is this unique ability to integrate rivals into a single game that grants the hegemony its legitimacy. Donald Trump recognizes that maintaining the old ideological system is an exhausting burden. He views the global stage through the lens of pure transaction. He wants a deal that relieves the pressure on American resources. Xi Jinping's strategy is built on longevity. China cannot simply destroy the existing order. It must create its own expression alongside it. To achieve that, Xi requires the ultimate resource, time. Vladimir Putin faces a much bleaker reality. Trapped in a quagmire with no reliable allies to lean on, his sole objective is finding a sustainable way out. A deal-maker seeking a transaction, a builder who needs time, and a fighter looking for an exit. These three distinct needs align to create a rare historical window for a grand negotiation. The Iran War functions as a trap. No superpower actively chose to enter this conflict, yet all three find themselves caught by its internal logic. The United States is being pulled in by its allies, China is shackled by its dependence on Middle Eastern energy, and Russia, already stuck in its own mud, now faces compounded geopolitical pressure. As the global oil era ends, the actual geopolitical value of the Middle East is permanently declining, yet the region retains a magnetic, destructive pull. The Middle East remains a realm of religious fanaticism and unresolved colonial debts. These historical forces are immune to the rational, geopolitical calculations of outside powers. This historical black hole forces the world's three most powerful nations to bleed their resources, paying the price for ancient grievances they did not create. Donald Trump's scheduled visit to Beijing signals a leader searching for an elegant exit from a political graveyard. He is following an instinct to flee a war that has no clear outlet for victory. History pivots when reality crushes ideological excuses, leaving only raw interest calculation. Survival requires the US and China to lock together, stabilizing the global floor. Then, Russia must be integrated into this architecture, preventing Moscow from acting as an external spoiler. The great transaction only moves from an abstract theory to a practical reality when these leaders recognize that their true opponent is the chaos of a burning world.